All right, check this out. You gotta see this hilarious new video of a MAGA fan getting kicked out of an MLS soccer game last night in St. Louis because of his MAGA hat. He has this whole meltdown. He's arguing with the guards. He's like filming himself, pretending to be a victim, saying he's getting arrested. He's practically crying on camera. And the reason he's getting kicked out is because the MLS, the soccer league, has a ban on all political messages at their games. If you wear it, whether it's liberal or Republican, you're going to get kicked out of the game. And this guy feels like he has a right to be at the game. And he was arguing with the police officers. It's just so funny to watch these MAGA fans pretend like it's them who are victims in the system. It's them who everybody is going after. It's just so ridiculous. So I want to show you this clip. We'll talk about it after. I also have an update to this. The Trump administration is actually getting involved in this debacle, if you can even believe it. So let's take a look at this video. We'll talk about it after. It is just so absurd. Have a look.
We're on cameras up here. Hey, no, I just want to make sure I got it. Yeah, what's up? I'm Michael Weitzel. I'm being asked to leave by the police because of Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm a Donald Trumper, dude.
You're a Trump fan?
I'm a MAGA. Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
So I just want
all these coppers you got to deal with are MAGA, but they're not political here. They don't want any kind of political.
So those flags over there,
those are pre-approved.
those flags over there, those aren't political. So my question to you guys is, are these rules equally enforced on everybody?
And here's my question to you.
And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you.
Or you just go out.
Go out and handcuff. So I'm being threatened with arrest. What law am I?
Well, of course you're being threatened with arrest. You're at a private stadium and they have a ban on political messaging and you're pretending like you have a right to be there and they're asking you to leave and you're not. It's like, I don't understand how there are so many clips out there of MAGA fans who get in this exact situation. Someone's asking them to leave the premises of a private business, property, whatever it might be, and they just throw such a fit. They're like, some of these people we catch on video, like this guy who actually voluntarily filmed his meltdown, are just such crybabies. It's so pathetic. Like, these are grown adults, and he's trying to point to these flags over there. He's like, well, what about those flags? He's claiming that they're political. Number one, the officer says, well, they're pre-approved. But also, number two, those are team flags. They're waving the team's logo. He's just trying to come up with anything to justify his belief. He should just walk out of there, but now they're going to escort him out because the fit he threw. Let's continue.
Flags over there, those aren't political. So my question to you guys is, are these rules equally enforced on everybody?
And here's my question to you.
And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you.
Or you just go out.
Go out and handcuff. So I'm being threatened with arrest. What law am I breaking? What am I?
Well, if we ask you to leave and you
You're
stay,
asking me to leave. Am I being evicted from the premises?
You're going to be evicted from the premises. You want to make a big...
We're going to walk up. I'm being evicted from the premises because
Oh
of
my
Donald
gosh.
Trump. Because we can't wear Donald Trump hats in public. And so now I'm being evicted from the premises. We need a big procession to get me out of here. Trump is not welcome in St. Louis City SC Club.
I just have to pause it again. This guy is insufferable. It's actually why, like, the MAGA movement has such a victim mentality where they truly believe that everybody's coming after them, and it's top down. It's from Donald Trump, who claimed that the FBI, the DOJ, the deep state, the Democrats, his own party, his own family, his own former advisors, everybody under the sun, Donald Trump claimed, was coming after him in his first term. He still claims that everybody's coming after him and they failed or whatnot. And now this guy is like, yeah, Trump's not welcome in the stadium. I'm getting evicted because of my political beliefs. It's like, buddy, it's a private business. You're not allowed to be there. They're asking you to leave. The police officers are being very respectful about it, even though that police officer said to him that he's a Trump fan as well. They're being very, very professional, and he's just filming them and filming his exit out of the stadium as if it's some grand exit, and he's being politically persecuted. It's just so embarrassing. And as I mentioned, I have an update that the Trump administration is actually getting involved in this, but we'll finish the video.
Trump is not welcome here. I'm getting mad. You guys.
We're the ones. We're usually better than that.
I know. We're the ones who don't complain about everything and cry about
Exactly,
everything.
I know.
But if we're gonna do this,
policy of the department. We don't want. Oh, you just take the hat off and go back in.
if I take the hat off, I can go back to.
Yeah.
we're already past that.
Really?
We're past that.
You already gave that chance to you?
No, that's fine.
Just for this game.
Just for this game. Okay.
From now on, because I'm going to be more pro.
He gets it. He's just following the rules. It's not his fault.
Well,
But this is the stadium's rules here.
Good, man.
Thank you, sir. Hey. So that's what happens if you wear a Donald Trump hat to a St. Louis City Soccer Club game. Thanks for watching.
Such crybabies. Oh, it's so funny to watch. I really enjoyed that. And again, I want to stress that this is the rules of the MLS. It's the rule of the league. When you can't wear a MAGA hat, a Biden hat, a Harris hat to any of these games, right? It's just the rule of the league. He thinks he's being persecuted because of his MAGA hat. Like, please just grow up. Just be an adult. I'm just asking him nicely. But I do want to get into this update because the journalist who originally covered the story, a more right-wing journalist that is, said can confirm this video is now being looked at by the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice. Trump's Department of Justice is getting involved in this video. The MLS has a rule that you can't wear any political merchandise. It's nonpartisan, meaning that it's legal. The Supreme Court has consistently held up laws that don't apply specifically to one belief. It's just across the board. It's across the board ban on political merch, and the Trump Department of Justice, instead of focusing on all of the many other things they could be focusing on, the many other bad people out there doing bad things, instead of focusing on releasing the Epstein files, and they're continuing to protect that awful man, and of course, Ghislaine Maxwell, who he seems to be giving perks to, instead of focusing on those things, the Trump DOJ is getting involved in this little dispute that this man has with the St. Louis soccer team. And it's not the only major news that we've gotten regarding Trump's Department of Justice today. I do want to also cover this story briefly, that instead of focusing on the Epstein files, the authorities, the federal government, has now launched a probe into former special counsel Jack Smith for, quote, alleged illegal political activity. Seriously, they are targeting Jack Smith simply because he did his job and investigated Donald Trump. And of course, the grand juries that he worked with, presented the evidence to, came to the conclusion that Donald Trump should be indicted. The Office of the Special Counsel has launched an investigation into Jack Smith, specifically the former special counsel who investigated Trump. The independent federal agency confirmed to CBS News on Saturday that it launched an investigation into Smith for potential violations of the Hatch Act, a federal law that limits certain political activities of federal employees. The New York Post was first to report on the investigation into Smith. Smith was appointed, of course, by then Attorney General Merrick Garland in November of 2022 to take over two investigations into Trump, that being his effort to overturn the 2020 election and his handling of classified documents. Both resulted in criminal charges against Trump, but they were closed after he won re-election. He resigned, Jack Smith that is, in January, days before Trump returned to office. And it's not just Trump and his Department of Justice and this independent agency doing these investigations, or at least calling for them. Senator Tom Cotton, a Republican of Arkansas, called for an investigation into Smith's conduct earlier this week and alleged that Smith had been pushed for a rush trial of Trump. They are just targeting their opponents. They are putting endless time, endless resources, endless taxpayer dollars into Donald Trump's pet projects, this one being targeting Jack Smith. We have this, and they're also taking a look into this dispute that we just covered with this video. It's so embarrassing what this administration is doing. And instead of focusing on the real issues that are impacting everyday Americans, they're giving benefits to Ghislaine Maxwell. They're protecting their buddy wearing a MAGA hat at a soccer game who had a little meltdown on camera because he couldn't wear the hat at the game. And they're also targeting political opponents. It's the name of the game for Trump's Department of Justice and his administration as a whole. But anyway, aside from all that, I just had to cover this story for you and show you this clip. I think it's so funny to watch this grown-ass man having a meltdown on camera. I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.